Today is a special Kapital. We're saying this year Kapital Kuf Yud Ches and Tehillim, which is basically half of Hallel, second half of Hallel. A very, very important Kapital, a very geschmacke Kapital.
Which Kapital?
Kuf Yud Ches, 118 in Tehillim.
So why Shnat after Yud Ches? Why the Shnat?
The year of saying this Kapital. It's this year we're saying this Mizmor and Tehillim.
Shnaz Ha Kuf Yud.
Ha Kuf Yud Ches. It's the year of saying the Mizmor Kuf Yud Ches.
Kuf Yud Ches is the Mizmor of Tehillim. What is Shnat after Yud Ches?
The year where people are going to be saying, and this year people are saying the Mizmor Kuf Yud Ches and Tehillim.
You have to write then Hashana Kuf Yud Ches, not Shnat.
Okay. Maybe they don't know Hebrew. They're not thinking. They're thinking in Yiddish. They're not thinking in Hebrew.
יש כמה קובלים מאתמול בפריג'ידר. אהרון, נשארו כמה קובלים בפריג'ידר. דקה, תגמור את זה. הצלד כאן משהו.
Hoydu Lashem Kitov Kilum, Chazda Yemen Yisrael Kilum, Chazda Yemen Beisan Kilum, Chazda Yomer No Yira Hashem Kilum Chazda. Says Rashi, Yomer No Yisrael, and then there is Yomer No Yisrael Lefi Shel Olam Chazda. Yira Hashem Elu Bnei Levi. The Yira Hashem of Bnei Levi Shekotzu Behem Mila Hashem Elai. Right in the beginning.
Hodu, no? Yeah, Hodu.
That Elu Bnei Levi, Shamar Behem, Shekotzu Behem, it says by the Bnei Levi, Mila Hashem Elai, Vayas, Velov Kol Bnei Levi, B'mai Sa'egel, Vanil, Chamom Yisrael, Kashamar Nit Nashosh, V'reshuva Mitzrayim. That the Yirei Hashem, there's in general Yomer No Yisrael, and Yomer No Beis Aaron, and Yomer No Yirei Hashem is the Bnei Levi that were always there to, in the story of the Ego, as when the Yidden said Nitna Rosh Hashem Mitzrayim. Okay, this seems to be like an introduction to the general Kapital Tehillim. And then, after these four pieces, it starts the actual Kapital. Min ha'meitza korose yo, and only b'merchav yo. Talk about this maybe later. Hashem li lo yida mayasa li yodam. Hashem li bo'oza v'ani eretz b'soiner. Tov lachzas v'Hashem mivteach ba'odam. So David HaMelech is saying that it starts from Meitzer for something which is like Mitzrayim. And then Yid starts off screaming to the Eibishter from a Meitzer, and the Eibishter answers him and it becomes a Merchav.
It's part of the Aleph.
Exactly. Yeah. And he says, Hashem li lo yida, because the Eibishter is with me, I have nothing to be scared. My asali adam, what can a person do when the Eibishter is on my side? And then he explains even more. Hashem li ba'oizero evanir b'soine. The Eibishter is there among my helpers. So I will see in the revenge against my enemies. And then further he says, Tov lachzas b'Hashem mibteach ba'odam. It's good to have trust in the Eibishter better than trusting people. Tov lachzas b'Hashem, it's good to trust in the Eibishter better than even trust in the generous people that give generous offers. We'll talk about the Sunnah Pichsidis. I mean, this is like a very peladik loshen. If you think about this for a minute, even Rashi is going to have a problem here. Rashi, which is, I mean, Pshuta is not Mamash Pshuta Shamekra, the Metzudas David, the Metzudas Tzina, a little more Pshuta. But okay, but Rashi Lefierech is Pshat. And Rashi has a problem with this too. What do you mean? David HaMelech says, he starts off nice. Yeah, Hashem li lo yira. Because Hashem is with me, I'm not scared. Mayas li adam, no one can do anything to me. And then he says, Hashem li bo'izrei, I have a lot of helpers, and Eibush is one of them. Strange language. And then he says, Toiv lachzas b'Hashem mibteach ba'adam. It's good to trust in Eibush than trusting people. Good? That means it's just about good, you know? It's good. I mean, the other way is not terrible, but this is the good way.
He was supposed to say Hashem is the only one be'ozrai.
Exactly. And then also here, when he says Hashem li lo yida, mayasa li adam Hashem li be'ozrai, tov lachzas b'Hashem, mi b'toich b'adam. What do you mean? It's good to trust in Eibishter better than trusting in a person? In other words, trusting in a person is nicht gefährlich. It's not terrible, but it's better. Toiv, it's better. But the pasuk says, "Oror hagever asher som ba'adam iftachoi." Yeah, Baruch hagever asher yiftach b'Hashem. But oror ish asher som ba'adam iftachoi. Over here he says, "Toiv lachzas b'Hashem." It's a good thing. So let's look at Rashi. Rashi tries to answer a pshat, and we'll talk about this soon. Toiv lachzas b'Hashem chisoyin ze einei elo loshen chisoyin tzel v'davar muetu. It's a davar muet that the Eibush is giving him, not giving him any guarantees. The Eibush is saying, you know what, you can hang around here, but I'm not guaranteeing anything to you. That's better to hang around the Rabbanu Shalom Miptarech Ba'adam Davar Bori V'Samach Chazak V'Afa Bikein Lachzas B'Shem Tov Mavtachas V'nei Adam. Miptarech Lachzas means a person's hanging out. He's choysa betzel knofa. He's just hanging out there. Ptoyach means guarantee, right? He buys insurance. He's guaranteed. So even if a human being says, "I guarantee it's going to be good," the Rabbi says, "I'm not going to guarantee anything. You want to come along for the ride? Let's see what's going to be." It's better to take the ride with the Rabbi Shalom. Right, still missing a little salt and pepper here. I mean, why? First of all, and if a person says it's going to be good, I guarantee. It's like every life insurance salesman. You know, what's the big deal? Everyone in America is telling you it's going to be good. If you pay me money, it'll be good. Just give me all your money, it's going to be good. Why would we say the Eibishter is only giving him a chisoyin? The Rebbe says, you know what? I'm not guaranteeing anything. Just come for a ride. And obviously, Rashi is bothered by a shayla. That's why he's giving a teretz. But what's taking the pshat? So there's the best way to understand it is to learn a little bit of chassidus on this. Let's read a little more, and then we'll get straight to the chassidus part of it. Toiv lachzas b'Hashem mipterech menegivim. Next pasuk says, pasuk Yud, Kol goyim savavuni b'Hashem doinoi ki amila. That the goyim surround me. What's up, Shad? The goyim surround me. Rashi says, Medaber b'machem zgol gomagik. Shkol goyim yisham kamoy shenemar v'asafti is kol goyim al Yerushalayim lamalchama. Amila machrisa meloshen yemoilel v'yovish. Before Mashiach will come, all the goyim will surround the Jews. But the Yid says, don't worry, I'm not worried. B'Shem Hashem, I am in the Shem Hashem. Therefore, I'm ki amilam. Therefore, I'm sure that they will be crushed. They will be cut and crushed. Yemoilel v'yavish. Sabuni gam savavuni. They surround me. And in the strongest way. But B'Shem Hashem, ki amilam. Again, I trust in the Eibishter. And I trust that the Eibishter is going to cut them and crush them, and they're going to be dried out, and there's no worry. I'm not worried.
That's what the Navi said in Achrit HaYamim, the end of the days. 70 nations will be against the Jews. That's exactly what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying. Exactly. Yeah. That's what he's saying. Exactly. Very good. Sabuni chedvorim, they surround me like the bees. Just like bees surround a thing of honey, the goyim surround, and they want to stick it into the Jew. Not only that, they're jumping around the Jews like a eish koitzim, just like the fire on koitzim that jumps. There is a fire that's deep in the cold.
On the contrary, the lachu means it went down.
I know. That would be
like when Kotzim burn.
I understand.
Burn, then it goes down.
I would think so too, but that's not the way Rashi teaches. Look at here. I
wasn't looking at Rashi.
Right. I'm saying I agree with you. I would have thought exactly like you, but. I'll tell you what, till I read this Kapital, when I used to say it, I used to think exactly what you're saying. I used to think like this. as a mistake. I mean, I see Rashi and the Metzudas learn that way.
The Achu is going down.
But Rashi learns. I would have learned. I thought that Doyachu is going on the Goyim. That Sabunik Dvorim, they surround me like Dvorim, and the Eibishter makes that Doyachu, but that's not the way Rashi. Rashi says Doyachu keshkoitzim kolosh and diicha neufel aloshen kefitze v'noter ma'er memar liis noter v'notek memkoim elkeinu neufel aloshen eish v'aloshen mayim k'moy nitchu memkoim v'chein yomay nitchu v'chein neido yalov yidoch k'derech shel heves hane tekes min apsila v'oilo l'mayla k'shikova. That it's mashma like, in other words, they're jumping up against the Jew like Eish Koitzim. I don't know. That's what sounds in Rashi. The truth is, one of the Meforshim that's very popular on the Tehillim is the Metzudas David. In fact, the Rebbe used to advise learning Tehillim to first start with Metzudas David. Even though L'choyer Rashi is L'chamokim, but I don't know, for some reason the Rebbe used to advise first to learn Metzudas David.
Who was Metzudas David?
I don't know. So the Metzudas Taka says a different pshat. He says, Sabune Kedvoyerim. So he says, even though they surrounded me, like the dvorim that surround the kli, which is full of honey, because the bees want to get honey. Nevertheless, doyachu af im kovu gachalosi keish ma'atzei hakoitzim hakovim ma'er, which is like you said. Af im ha'ev degelulim horgu harabim mi Yisrael im kol ze eftach b'shem Hashem. Even though, but it's another words, it's a negative thing still, not the way I always thought of it. In other words, even if Rachmana litzlan, the goyim surrounded the Jews like bees, and Rachmana litzlan made a fire, and the fire was Doyach who was killed Yidden. Rachmana litzlan, Yidden get killed in the gas chambers, but the Yidden still have trust in the Eibishter. Okay, maybe we should stop a minute at this and be ma'ayin in the Chassidus that the things that to explain this.
The last line is a little bit not contrary, but it sounds it needs a lot of explanation. That last line she just said. Even though it's the reality is like that.
You trust in the Eibishter.
You trust in the Eibishter. It needs.
But that shows the power of the Amunah. That the Yid still trust in the Eibishter.
So, but what is the Amunah? Everyone's getting killed. You're getting killed. What is the pshat that he's trusting in the Eibishter? That's what I'm asking.
Let's first go to the other things.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start from Hashem li ba'ozrei.
What page?
Let's stick to this page. I'll tell you later which page. But let's talk about this Baal Peh. We're going to talk now about the Oisius Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalad. Later in the booklet, you could look at it. But right now, let's talk about it Baal Peh. Basically, Oisius Yud Beis, Yud Gimel, Yud Dalad, Tezvav. There's a beautiful letter from the Rebbe to a woman who says she is very anxious. The Rebbe says that you have to look in this Kapital Tehillim. A Yid, there's nothing to be anxious about. Hashem li lo yira, ma yasa li adam. A person has to trust in Eibishter and know that no human being could harm me and could do nothing to me because
fully trust. It's a fully trust.
Exactly.
Which Kapital is that?
We're Kapital 118.
118, okay.
118.
Thank you.
So now let's get to several of the questions that we had. The first one was, what does it mean Hashem li ba'ozrei? Hashem is among my helpers. How could the Eibishter be among my helpers? Like Ilu, there's a couple of helpers. So the Rebbe said that there was a story that the Frierdiker Rebbe was in prison. In Tovarish Pezai 1927. When he came out of prison, he said right away a mimer. And afterwards he said a follow-up mimer, Hashem li ba'ozri. The Pashtus, the reason he said this mimer was, he was thanking the Rebbeinu Shalom for, he went from Rachmana Litzlan for something that's Hepach HaChaim to Chaim, Baruch Hashem. But also, the remez over here was to thank all the people that helped him. Because there was a lot of people that put their life on the line to make a big tumult and the whole an international outcry to redeem the Rebbe. So Mela, he was thanking. He was saying a Yashikoyach with us. So the question that he asked, which who's the Ozer? Who are the other helpers besides the Kadosh Baruch Hu? The only helpers of a person is the Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we say Hashem li be'ozroi, mashma, that there's other helpers. And B'chlal, why would David the Melech say, Ani erev b'soinoi, that I want to see the nakoma of my enemies? Like Chazal say, Tamach hatoim v'loi choytem, let them do tshuva. Why would you want to see the revenge against the enemies? Which for Pashtas, that's what it means. Ani erev b'soinoi, I'll see the revenge. I mean, that's l'choyda what it means. So, the nakuda of the answer is like this. When a oizroi means there are helpers to a person. Who's the helpers? Api Kabbalah and Api Chassidus, the Netzutze Kedusha that a person redeems from this world, they become the person's helpers. They become the Malach Toiv that's made of Yosher on the person. When a person redeems sparks of Kedusha in this world, those sparks of Kedusha are the helpers for the person. They're always Malamet Zchus on this person. Not in a level of Kabbalah, just on a simple level. When a person does mitzvahs, how do the mitzvahs help him going forward? Pashut, because a person trains himself to do a mitzvah once, twice, 3 times, it becomes easier. When a person trains himself to give tzedakah, first time is hard, second time it's easier, and then it's even easier. So these ma'asim tovim that a person does are oizroi. They are oizer the person. Api pshat, and also api Pnimiyas HaTorah, that he creates malachim, he elevates sparks, and these malachim, these sparks of Kedusha, are there to be melamed zchus on the Yid. However, it could be that the oizroi should be without the Shem Hashem. Oh, how could that be without Shem Hashem? There's a story with Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchev. They asked him to say Atoroisa. Oh, he was not Dreikus. He's lost. He's not here. Hello? Not here. He was somewhere else. And he was there for a while. And when they opened up his eyes, he was like, he seemed confused. He said, Bist du a Lamden? Bist du a Chosid? Hast du gelernt bei der Rebbe? Geh du sogar Atoroisa. People didn't know what he's talking about. He said, you're a Lamdan, you're a Chosid, you learn by the Rebbe, you go say Ataroisa. So later, he explained to his Talmidim that what happened was they invited him to say Ataroisa. All of a sudden, Yetzer Hara came to him and said, you're going to Ataroisa, I'm coming with you. So he said, I told my Yetzer Hara, what do you mean? Why should you go? I learned by the Heilige Maggid of Mezrich. Who are you? You're a scoundrel. He said, what are you talking about? When you went to the Maggid, I went with you. He said, yeah, but I learned the Torah of the Maggid. Yeah, but I also went with you. But I'm a Chosid. He said, what are you talking about? I'm a Chosid too. So he said, when I figured that I can't help the situation, so I told the Yetzer Hara, you know what? Bist du a Lamdan? Bist du a Chosid? Bist du gelernt bei der Maggid? Geh du sogar Atoroisa. I'm not going. You want to go? You go. You go yourself and say Atoroisa. I'm not going. Not all of us could have this honest conversation with Yetzer Hara. Sometimes we're confused which voice is saying what. But to Rebbe Yitzchak, he was very clear which voice was saying what. And when he felt that the Yetzer Hara is, in other words, his gaive is involved here.
I'm saying,
I'm getting covered, and I'm the Adam Choshev, and I'm the Adam Godel, and people respect me because they think I'm a big Lamdan, they think I'm a big Chosid, and they think I'm a big Talmud of the Maggid. and therefore I deserve the covet. So he realized that was the voice of the Yetzer Hara. So he said, "Who are you?" He says, "But I'm with you." The care about a beautiful word. It says in the Gemara, the Yetzer Hara is Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Kach, Mocher Lo Omer Lo Yaseh Kach, Ad She'omer Lo Yelech Avodah Zarah. Today he tells him Pashtus. It means today he says do a little aveda, a little infraction. Tomorrow he tells him to do a bigger infraction, and then eventually he tells him Rachmana Litzlan to do Avodah Zarah. But what it's like an interesting lashon in Chazal. Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Kach, Mocher Omer Lo Yaseh Kach. Like you could say Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Aveda Kala, Mocher Omer Lo Yaseh Aveda Chamura, Ad She'omer Lo Yelech Avodah Zarah. It's like an interesting lashon. Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Kach, Mocher Omer Lo Yaseh Kach. What's the Kach and the Kach? In Israel, there was once a political party called Kach, right?
Kach, right.
Exactly. What's Kach? What do you mean? Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Kach. Exactly.
Kahana.
What do you mean? Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Kach. Say Hayom Omer Lo Yaseh Aveda Kala. So the Rebbe Rayat said that the Yetzer Hara is very clever. He knows that he's going to tell a Yid to do an Aveda Kala. The Yid will send him flying. So he says, do a big mitzvah. But, kach, I'll tell you how to do the mitzvah. To consult with me. I'm going to give you advice how to do the mitzvah.
Really?
When the Jew, he wants that the Jew should get into the habit of discussing with him how to do the mitzvah. So first he tells him, good idea, very good, do it, it's good, you're going to get some covet, and it's nice, and the family will like it. And tomorrow he asks again the Yetzer Hara for Haskama, and he says, I say, kach, it's good, do it. And once the Jew has in the habit to come asking advice by the Yetzer Hara,
You got it.
to say, one day he says, nah, today not. I've been always telling you should do it, but today I don't think you should do it. And then he has him in his hand. But first he says, kach, do the mitzvahs, but do it like I tell you. Come to me, just consult with me of how to do the mitzvah.
He buys trust.
Right.
He buys trust.
Right. And then he betrays the Yid. So the David HaMelech was asking the Eibishter that Hashem li ba'oizrei, that all these oizrei, all my helpers, which is the ma'asim tovim that I do in the mitzvahs, and the Torah that I learn, all the angels I create should be pure angels. All the mitzvahs and ma'asim tovim that I do create angels, but they could be shaloi lishma angels. They could be the type of angels like the Rebbe Yitzchak and the Yetzer Hara. They want to come with us also to the Seder table. They also want to eat matzah charoises with us. So David HaMelech is saying, Hashem li ba'oizrei. I'm asking, my biggest request is that only Hashem should be in my oizrei. My oizrei are all my angels that are guarding me. But they should be pure angels. They shouldn't be mixed in with any other thing. It should be Hashem li ba'oizrei. Avamela ani ere besoinoi, that the biggest revenge is when the soina becomes subservient to you. Like Chazal say that there's a malach ra that likes to say the opposite of a yid, and then Bal Korche, he's yana ome. Sometimes there's a bad angel against a Jew, and the Eibishter forces him to say a blessing for the Jew, or it makes a blessing for the Jew, and forces the malach ra to say ome.
Or Shabbos.
I remember, silly things, but it was in the shul, in the young Israel, the little politics. And there was a man an old man who passed away, and his son came to live in his mother's apartment. And no one knew if he was wealthy or not, but he used to drive around with he wasn't so wealthy, the gemeint, but the gemeint is, because he drove around with a Lexus. And in shul,
Get free rent. Why not?
And his mother wasn't paying more than $400 a month, all utilities included, so he could pay his mother's rent. There's enough Brooklyn rents over there. So good. And he used to always give generous nadovas to the shul. And he wasn't the type of person that he was very far from any Yiddishkeit to anything. It was like a show. So he tells me, Rabbi, you know why I do this? The Gabbai in the shul, he says the name. he didn't treat my father well. So I want him to plots now. I want him to plots now. That Harvey's son is the one who's giving now. But he must feel really bad now. But yeah, exactly. But there could be in Kedusha also that a person says, I want to see that the Yetzer Hara should be not Rachmana litzlan, that I am a shamash to the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is a shamash b'mir. I don't want to be a shamash by the Yetzer Hara. That I should see that the Soinai should turn around. They should be subservient to me and not I'm subservient to them. That's a chassidus pshat in this pasuk. Hashem liba oizroi, that there's only one thing, the Eibishter, but we want these oizroi, these angels that we create with our ma'asim tovim, should be pure, and that the Yetzer Hara should, which is our soina, which is who is the soina of Yid, the Yetzer Hara, that we should see that not that we have asking him for permission, but fakir, that he is asking us for permission. Now let's go to the other thing, which is beautiful pshat of the Tzemach Tzedek. Tomorrow is the Yortzeit of the Tzemach Tzedek, so we'll start off with something with the Tzemach Tzedek. Maybe tomorrow we'll start something else from the Tzemach Tzedek. Again, we're talking the first psukim with the Avda Melech is saying how he trusts the Eibishter. He says, Tov lachs Hashem b'terech b'yodam. Tov lachs Hashem b'terech b'nadivim. Better to trust in the Eibishter, which is a pliyat summa. What do you mean better to trust in the Eibishter? It's better to trust in the Eibishter. There's only one person you can trust, the Eibishter. So Tzemach Tzedek explains like this. The Nekudas here, usually when you say Odam, it's Be-Odam, with a Tzedek. Here there's three patachs, komats. Bo-O-Dom. When you say Bo-O-Dom, it's like saying Be-Ho-O-Dom. It's like you're talking about a certain person. It's like, oh, that guy, we're just talking about Chaim Yankel. Him, he owns cleaners. He has a wine factory. You know what I mean? Bo-O-Dom, that person we were just talking about. Who are we talking about? Which Adam are we talking about?
That's Hey HaYediah.
Hey HaYediah, exactly. Hey HaYediah. It's like saying Beho-Odom. That's why it's the comments. Bo-Odom, it's like saying Beho-Odom. Which Odom are we talking about? So we're talking about, the pasuk says, there was a kisei HaKoved that the angel saw, the Navi saw. Dmus HaKisei Dmus Kemare Ho-Odom.
Cheskel.
What does it? He saw Kemare Ho-Odom, which is all Odom Elyon, the Eibishter. That's the Odom we're talking about over here. We're saying like this. Let's use words of the Kabbalah, of Chassidus. There's Mamala Kol Alma, Marsov Kol Alma. There is the way the Eibishter reveals himself in the image of a Odom, which is the way the Eibishter revealed himself in a contracted way. Mamala Kol Alma, that it's like a neshama that fills the world. It's in a very contracted way. That's why it's revealed like an Odom. Then there is the emeskite of Hashem, which can't be contracted in the world. It's soiviv kol alman, like the Zohar says, kutshabrichiyu soiviv kol alman, mal kol alman. The Eibishter is revealed in a way of mal kol alman, that he fills the world, but it's in a contracted way. And then there's the emes Hashem la'olam, which is soiviv kol alman. So, if a yid is connected to mal kol alman, that's betoich b'odam. He has betoichem. Beho-Odom, and the Odom Elyon Shalakitza, the Eibishter. But Toiv Lachsois, it's only Be'oifen Shal Tzeil, because Soiv, when a Yid connects to the Emeshkeit of Hashem, it's Soiv Kalamim, it's only like a shadow. But Toiv, that's even better. Why is it better? When a Yid has to make a living, for example, so he has to make a Kedu, but when a Yid connects to the Emes Hashem Le'olam, so it says, Hashlech al Hashem Yehovcha, V'hu Yechal Kelecha. Simple pshat is that put your package in the Eibishter, and he will take care of you. He will mechalkel chayim bechesed. He will be mechalkel. Yosef was mechalkel asecha. But Chassidus says it's meloshin keli. Hu yechalkel lecha. The Eibishter will give you the keli. There is a certain level of bitachon that the Eibishter already provides the Yid with the keli, not only with the blessing but also with the keli. So when a person is lachsas b'Hashem, the world has no tfisas makom. There's only the Eibishter, and there's nothing else. So the Eibishter provides not only the blessing but also the keli. The Rebbe now explains the word of the Tzemach Tzedek like this. The Torah says, a person has to do. A person can't sit in the house and say, you know what, the Rabban Shalom will give me direct deposit in my account. Right? Ishtadlu. Okay. Two ways of looking at it. First way of looking at it is, okay, since HaKadosh Baruch Hu said I have to do my ishtadlus, so this thing, the natural core things that are shaykhs to my business are chashuv, because the Rebbe says I should be involved in it. Another way of looking at it, it's like a lomdisha language, it's only a way to get there. The Eibishter, because that's what the Eibishter wants. The Eibishter wants you to put on tefillin. The Eibishter wants that I should give tzedakah. But before I give tzedakah, I should go to the office and do this and that. But it's only because the Eibishter wants me to do it. Not that that's the way people make money. But I trust the Eibishter. But that's the way the Eibishter is going to give me money through this business. No. The Gemara says in Shabbos about the questions that they ask a person. First question is, Nsata was at the morning, did you? So the Welt sagt, what's the second question? Why are you stammering? Can't you answer straight? They ask the person, did you do business ba'amuna? And the person says, so it's the second question is, why are you stammering? Come on, just answer, yes or no. So the Gemara there says, V'hoya amuna sitecha chois in Yeshuas, that this pasuk is going for the Shisha Sidra Mishnah. And amuna, the first word is amuna. Amuna is for Seder Zerayim. What's the connection of amuna and Seder Zerayim? Because the Gemara says, Ma'amim b'chayalom v'zereya. He believes in the Eibishter, and that's why he plants. And that's why Seder Zerayim is merubas in the pasuk in the amuna, in the word amuna. So the Rebbe asks, you have to have amuna, and a person who is an atheist, he doesn't plant. He never plants an apple tree. Agnostic. He doesn't plant any barley. He doesn't put flowers in a flower pot. So look, the Rebbe fakert here in the a person could say the world has been standing for so many years, year after year. That's it. Just put the plant, you put some water, don't worry about the fertilizer. It's the gate. That's the nature. Don't ask about this. They'll explain you details, but just put in the thing. It's fine. Water it once a week, twice a week, it'll be good. A Yid doesn't look that way. He's Maimon B'chaya Lomim V'zarei. Because the Eibishter says that he should plant, that's why he plants. The whole world is planting because the botanist says that it works. And because year after word, because his father and his grandfather planted. A Yid plants because Maimon B'chaya Lomim, because the Eibishter said to do so. Not the Pshat. Planting works. He believes the Eibishter gives a blessing, but the planting works. And he's going to get the blessing through planting. He only plants because the Eibishter says to plant. So, what's the nafkamina? A person has bitochen, this way bitochen, that way bitochen. What's the difference? There's a very big difference. Several differences. What happens if things seem to be contradicting each other? If he's going to daven a little less, the business will go better. If he'll learn Torah a little less, the business will go better. If he'll give less tzedakah, he'll have more money to make his next investment. And he'll live a good old age. And he'll live a good life. If he gives too much tzedakah right now, why should he give meiser? He's an old man, he'll leave over at Tzavah. But right now, he should give meiser or more than meiser. He's not going to have money to invest. He can make great investments, but you need to have capital to make investments. If a person believes is batoich ba'odom, he has betochen, but in Memalek Olamim, which mitzad the light of Memalek Olamim Sedah Welt, there is a world, but the Eibishter controls the show. But there is a world. Obviously, this light was contracted to create the world. So, obviously, according to this light, there is a world. That's why it was contracted to create the world. So there is a world. Okay, so now that he has a contradiction, he has to figure out what to do. So he might make the right decision or the wrong decision. But if a person is lachsas b'Hashem, his whole thing is because the Eibishter, his mom, and v'zeireya, in this level of betochen, he's never going to have a shaila. Maybe it's a contradiction. Maybe if I daven too long, my business will suffer. Maybe if I have a shir Torah, every person has a certain amount of what they need to do, but maybe if I have a shir Torah, stop all shiurim. It's not shaykh such a thing. It's never shaykh that should be such a contradiction. That's what David HaMelech says. Toiv lachsas b'Hashem b'toyach ba'odom. That both are betochen. But ba'odom, we're not talking about me and you. We're talking ba'odom, like be'ha'odom, odom ha'elyon shalakisei. So there's two betochen. There's betochen as is in Soyev Kolalim, betochen as in Mamal Kolalim. So David HaMelech is saying that Toiv lachsas b'Hashem ba'odom, Toiv lachsas b'Hashem v'netoiv b'nedivim, that it's better, this higher level of betochen, that's the better. The other one is also a betochen. You can't fault a Jew if he has betochen, he thinks the Eibishter runs the world, but he thinks that money really is produced on Wall Street. Elamai, you have to keep Shabbos and you have to do the Eibishter, otherwise, Rachmana litzlan, instead of making money, you'll end up spending the money on doctor bills, right? That's also true. That's true. That's not wrong. If a person thinks that way, he says, I have to keep the mitzvahs. Because if I'm not going to keep the mitzvahs, it doesn't matter how much money I'll make on Wall Street. I can spend and blow all that in Rachmana litzlan on doctor bills, on lawsuits, Rachmana litzlan. Who knows what? Is that wrong? It's right. It's true. But that's called mivtoyach ba'odom. But a yid b'chatchila that has this thing that there is that the mitzad the Eibishter, the way he's soiv of kolalmim, the world has no tfisa smokim. And the only reason I'm planting and I'm working is only because the Eibishter said I should do that. So how could there ever be a contradiction between my limud HaTorah and kiyum HaMitzvahs and avodas HaTfilah and the sinas HaTzdokah and my business? It's not shaykh. Such a yid. Therefore, David HaMelech says, Toiv lachsas b'Hashem b'Torah b'Adam. Should have a higher level of betochen. And like the Tzemach Tzedek says, in that level of betochen, so hu yechalk alecha. The Eibishter not only provides the blessing, but he provides also the keli. So l'chaim, on these special nights leading up to Pesach, that we should have this level of betochen, because this level of betochen is toiv. David HaMelech tells us this is the good way to go. And matzah is michla nehemenusa. It's the bread of Amunah. And it says on Yom Yom that the first day of it's both. So which one is it? It's a michla nehemenusa, michla asvasa. The answer is they're both true. The matzah is Amunah and also refuah. But depends how the matzah goes. If you have the first Amunah, then you never get sick to begin with. If you have the other way is that a person is sick and then he has a miracle, he thanks the Eibishter. It's much better to go the other way. Much better that a person has an unbelievable amount of emunah b'toch, and then l'chatchila doesn't get sick, and he trusts that the Eibishter is taking care of him. So l'chaim, we should be zoichet to take it to such a level in emunah and such a level of b'tochim. And Memela, Machatchila, we shouldn't know of any tzores and any tzar and any yisurim should be for us and for our families and for Klal Yisrael. Ach toiv v'chesed, begashmias, beruchnis, and all the things. And the ikir is we should be zoichet to Gilas Mashiach Tzidkeinu. Amen.
The next button, Benedivin. I mean, if
I have to leave something tomorrow. I have to leave something.
Chocolate?
I get him mine.
I can put you one. Sure. L'chaim. Vehi she'abda olam ha'seinu velanu she'lo yechad melvad v'adoleinu lechad l'seinu elo she'b'chol d'chudei yomdim oleinu lechad l'seinu ve'akadosh baruch hu matzilenu b'yado elo she'b'chol d'chudei yomdim oleinu lechad l'seinu elo she'b'chol d'chudei yomdim oleinu Dim aleinu l'chaleseinu v'hakadosh baruch hu matzileinu miyadom. Must say it's very geschmack Kapital. So I think we'll continue tomorrow.
Thank you.